Victor. Alrighty, day 3. I don't know. I never really have a direction. Alrighty, day 3. Let's get right into it. Yes, I shaved. Go ahead, huh? No. I didn't really hear her. I didn't hear anything. Once the distance started to widen, the volume started to deafen. So, you may have noticed I figured out how to use a razor. So I'm no longer looking homeless. That's a plus for me, if you ask me. Let's go ahead and check if this is recording. It is. So I extended the power pole. Feels a little bit further. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Let's go ahead and get these steps in. So, as I mentioned, I did eat like 3,000 calories today. Cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. I added granola. I had a really nice workout today, actually. And yesterday, after our day 2 walk, I went and I extended that walk to 40,000 steps. All right. So I walked through the night, and at night, I was able to push an additional 20K. I ended up running some. Realized that my aerobic base is pretty impressive for my own standards. I was able to run a good amount. Holy crap. Holding this stick right here at this length just might be the forearm exercise that I'm looking for my left hand. So this is excellent. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can. Any gains on the table, I'll take it. So I ate granola, pumpkin seeds with granola, a lot of Greek yogurt, a lot of cottage cheese, like I'm talking about. Mom just did the grocery shopping. She got the essentials. Can't go wrong. And I had a really nice workout today. All right, so after my 20K steps last night, I transitioned that into a crunch session. So what we did was recorded some videos of some incline walking at 0%, 3%, 6%, 9%, 12%, 15% incline. So I put that on a 2x3 grid. And then on the grid, I put the calories burned per hour. So 0% incline was somewhere like around 230 calories burned. And something in my shoe. And let's go ahead and just skip all the way to the highest one, where it's 15% incline. Wait, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, that's the 6th one. It's about 530 calories for the hour. All right, so it's a really big change. Oh, that guy got me dizzy. He went right by a little too quickly on his little scooter. I'm already a little dizzy. So, a 0% incline, about 230 calories for the hour of walking at 3 miles per hour. Obviously, I think that might be a little bit on the low end, but I like to use the low end just because it's just safer. And then for 15 incline, 560. I think it might be even more. It just also depends on how much you weigh. So if you're like a person that weighs 180, I'm thinking you might burn close to 700 calories, 800 calories. Now the thing about these machines is they always give you an estimation. So the thing about me is I like to take the lowest number and I take that and I run with it because you get the best possible case scenario going and using the lowest number. You know what I'm saying? There's also something that I saw in there. It's called the Jacob's ladder. All right, and I don't really use it, but it's a cardio machine that is a ladder that is diagonal. All right, so when you start climbing it, the steps automatically go down. All right, it's a pretty cool system. it's diagonal. So imagine taking stair steps, and they constantly like keep replenishing each step, so you can just take the next step, right? So you're climbing in place, but all the steps are coming to you. It's really cool, right? And I did like 1 minute on it. 1 minute burned, it was like 10 calories. That doesn't sound pretty significant, but I believe, since that's a full body exercise, not only are you using your feet, you're also using your hands. I believe that count might be a little bit higher. For a minute, it might be probably like 20 calories. I don't know, or 15 calories. We don't know. It was a great exercise. Will I do it? No. Just because I don't want to. I just have no need. That's pretty cool. A little scooter over there. Everybody has scooters nowadays. It's pretty cool. I have a bike that's like electric. Alright, but the thing about riding the bike is there's a certain type of satisfaction that I get just walking. Alright. Biking is cool. I used to bike like 30 miles just to go see my friends. Oh man. I lived really far away from like the sports facility that I go play at. And sometimes I wouldn't be able to take a car at that time, because I did have a car. I wouldn't be able to take the car over. So then I would just hop on my bike and bike like 2-3 hours ahead of the time that we were originally gonna go play at the sports facility. You know, I'll get my warm up there, get there, play badminton for about 3 hours, and get ready to go back home. Talk about some mean cardio. I think I have pretty big legs. I think a majority of it is just always because I've been on the go, quite literally, ever since high school, and even out of high school. My favorite thing, obviously, to do was track. But transitioning out of high school, modes of transportation is a great way to get your steps and exercise in. So I chose bike straight out of high school. Biking everywhere. Biking on trails, biking through neighborhoods, biking through grass. It's a really fun experience, I'll tell you that. And I used to have like a little group of friends that I used to go bike with. We used to go everywhere. I'd actually put my bike on the train. The train's $2, right? And then you just set the destination wherever you want to go. Alright. So $2 can get you about 40 miles away from where I was living. Get me to like Winter Park area. I'll get out. My friends will all get out, and we'll just start exploring places that we didn't even know anything about. That's really fun, let me tell you. I even found a group of cyclists, right? They had like this bike takeover in downtown Orlando. Hundreds, I mean maybe even thousands of bikers. And I'm talking about like bikes, like not motorcycles. I'm talking about regular bikes. Kids with customized bikes. Man, you got the neon lights on the wheels and stuff like that. You got really cool stuff. But by the thousands, I would be in the pack with my friends who invited me, because it's not every day you go and you do that stuff. And we'll go bike around downtown and have a really good time. Sometimes get rained on. You can't beat those days, man. When you get rained on and you don't expect it, but everybody's cooling with it. Everybody's just having a good time. A little bit of rain, man. A little bit of hydration after doing some good exercise with the good people around you. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I can get rained on all day. I don't really mind it. But I do have cracks in my phone. So if I get a little bit of rainwater inside my phone, I'm in big trouble. So let's avoid that. Now that's really fun to do. So where are we walking to today? We're getting our 20K steps in. See, I don't know about you guys, but off camera, I went to go get more steps. It's just I like to do it. today I'm feeling a little extra bloated, so I believe tonight I am probably getting more additional steps in, you know, because I want to keep my metabolic burn rate higher, just because to compensate for the amount of food I've been eating today. It's not like I do it often, you know, especially after days that you just work out. Those are the days that are most important, where you got to get your calories in, because if you're lifting heavy, you don't want to lose even a percentage of your muscle mass. Got to make sure you prioritize protein after every lift. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out on some sick gains, right? They add up over time. I think it requires 2,500 calories of protein to put on like a pound of muscle tissue. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? And 3,500 calories deficit to lose a pound of fat. Right? That's really interesting right there, if you ask me. So, somebody commented on one of my videos talking about how what I'm doing isn't healthy, isn't recommended by doctors. You might find it in one of the videos. You might find the comments. The dude was referencing that this is just unhealthy. It's not sustainable, which I never really advocated it as being sustainable. I advocated it as a quick get down, cut the fat quick as possible, get to maintenance. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, live your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach you guys this as a tool to be able to shed fat on the go, not sustain this for months at a time. I believe I made myself pretty clear in the other videos, but yeah, let me just reiterate one more time. This protocol, these steps, plus a 1,200 calorie deficit, and having your protein at your ideal body weight, what that does is it allows you to cut a significant portion of fat per day while maintaining lean muscle mass. Right? This type of protocol is not meant to push beyond a month. Right? You'll be missing out on some key nutrients. So I never ever advertised it to be something that you do for an extended period of time. Yet there are still people who go and do this for an extended period of time. I'm not trying to turn you guys into those type of people, but there are people that do it and they have great bodies, and they're a lot older too. They also don't recommend you push it past a month. But then they go and they do it for months. I'm talking about with an S at a time. And their results at an older age, incredible. All right. So the modified version that we're doing is just 7 days, right? When I needed to go and cut down my body fat at a little bit more rapid of a pace, I pushed it to 2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks, 1,200 calories, 150 grams of protein. I filled up the rest of the calories with maximum 30 grams of carbs, even though I don't recommend you have the carbs because it'll knock you out of ketosis. And then the rest are fat, right? So I'll get my fat from the cottage cheese, and I'll get the fat from the chicken. All right, and if I was down on fat, I just I'll go to the fridge, I'll grab myself an egg. All right. And there's some healthy fats in there. I'm talking about chock full of all the vitamins that you need. So you don't need too much. What I do want to do today, though, on this walk in particular, is I do want to get us to Disney Springs. So hopefully they let me go with my bag. It's not like I have anything crazy in my bag. All I have is like my wallet, some cologne so I don't smell like roadkill. Let's go ahead and wait until it's safe to cross. I'm telling you, my forearm is starting to get pumped here. That is no joke. successfully crossed. Alrighty, we are passing by the Lemon Lime Hotel. We were here yesterday. Right? We were here looking for that that trail, and we ended up figuring out that the trail was torn down, which something tells me if I kept on doing a little bit more snooping around, I could have gotten lucky and I could have found some remnants. And I am not a stranger to going into places I probably don't belong into. I like the wild, the X factor. I like it. And so I probably would have climbed over some fence just to get a really cool access to some path that's not available for the public. But hey, I guess times have changed. So what I'm gonna do today is try and get us to Disney Springs. Right? Yesterday, I tried to get us there. I tried to pivot our walk, and we ended up not having the steps for it, not the time or anything, the halfway point. We were so close. All right, so let's see if we can make it today. I hope you guys are getting your steps in. I hope you guys are feeling better. And for those of you that are actually following the diet protocol with this, I hope you're seeing these results quick. Because if you are following these diet tips, keeping the calorie intake at 1200, eating your body weight goal of protein, this is day 2, or day 3 actually. This is day 3. You should be entering ketosis right now. And you should be burning a lot of the fuel in your body from fat, right? It's like it's a stream of energy you should be feeling. Now, I know I can't really talk to you guys about how you guys are feeling, right? But I'm just going to imagine that you are doing it. I can just imagine the things that you've been feeling, right? And maybe somewhere in this walk, I'm going to have to probably stop by 7-Eleven, grab me a little coffee. Even though I had coffee right before coming out here, I did have some coffee. I think maybe just a slight edge, a slight boost, it won't hurt anybody. The thing about that is they will make a part 2, but I'll deal with it. You know what I mean? The upload might come out like late tonight because my uploads usually typically take 3 to 4 hours. The day 2 upload took like 6 hours actually. That one took forever. I don't know what was up. I had my phone because everything's being uploaded through my phone. I don't really plug it in to the laptop. If I plugged it into the laptop, 9 times out of 10, it would have been slower. 9 times out of 10, it would have been slower for sure. There's only about 24 gigabytes of space on my laptop. And to go and create more space, this phone's super powerful. I have the iPhone 14. It's like the jack of all trades. It's the Swiss Army knife. It can do it all. You can record in 4K. You can upload in 4K. You can have cellular data. I mean, that's the whole package right there. You know what I mean? You can take some really nice pictures on the go everywhere you want. With that laptop, right? All I gotta deal with is a laggy interface, my memory running out. It's just a headache, right? Never really been too much of a laptop guy. I'm trying to get hyper efficient at doing all of the work when it comes to this type of content on the phone. It's just easier for me, right? And the easier life, man, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it for now when it comes to this stuff. Eventually, I'm going to get really dialed in when it comes to the edits. I think some of my shorts can show you guys what I'm able to do. It's obviously nothing crazy, because if it was something crazy, I probably would have a hit or something. But for making shorts, I have to figure out good hooks, set up conflict, and resolution, a payoff. I gotta do all sorts of things. So my early iterations of making these shorts and videos are just simple. I don't really put too much thought into it. As a matter of fact, if I really sat and concentrated as hard as I could, I don't know, I think I can have a working pipeline of fresh content for you guys. And I'm talking about on the double. Now here's the thing. If I do that, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which are the platforms that I post on, and Threads and Facebook Reels, the only platform that kind of like tests your content continuously is TikTok. So YouTube and Instagram kind of like stops your content from getting tested. Alright, so what does tested mean? It just means from going and getting pushed out to the public viewers. That's all it means. And it's kind of frustrating sometimes because I upload a video and it sits at 0. And it's not essentially because the video is bad. Maybe it might be bad, but you gotta understand, there's the way that YouTube works and the way that Instagram works is that content gets pushed out based on an engagement, right? So are people liking? Are people commenting? Are people saving my content? What are people doing with the content that I put out? Are they just looking? Are they just swiping away instantly? So these are all the metrics that I have to pay attention to. And it's to get better at this concept, you have to focus on the psychology of human attention. Because you can have the most amazing 3-minute long video that you have ever created, but here's the thing. What are the chances that people swipe away before they even get past 3 seconds of your video? Now, the metrics, it's called engagement, right? I lately have been getting, on the past 3 uploads, on the content that is based around this walking, has been 18% to 12% swipe rate, all right? So, actually, it's like 72%, 82% swipe rate. So that means out of every 10 viewers, 1 viewer is sticking out just to watch. Now that, when you are starting out on YouTube, that is enough to make a lot of people stop and to reevaluate what they're doing. I am not one of those people. I am one of those people that, at first it took me a little bit to understand what's going on. There's some videos I really did take time, like 6 hours, just to make a short that is 6 seconds long. So for every second, I put an hour of work into that video. For a 6-second video, imagine that. Just for the video to get 40 views, 80 views. Now that right there can make anybody go crazy. All right, and imagine the big time creators that are like professionals at this. I can only imagine how it makes them feel. But the thing about me and those big time creators is that they have the reps. They did it. One second. The only difference between me and those creators is that they put in the reps, so they know what they have to do in each video in order to hold retention, right? Retention is just a fancy way of saying the audience's attention span. Can you hold it? Are you able to say something interesting? Are you able to pique their curiosity? Are you able to stop them from scrolling away? Now, I haven't really found much success. The best performing reel I have actually has 27 27% swipe rate, which is below. So 27% is like out of 10 people, 7 people are watching, which is my best performing reel. And it's a little comic strip that I had ChatGPT mock up for me. All right, so I would enter very specific prompts. All right, it's 3 kids sitting down. They're all a little bit chubbier. I obviously put myself as one of those kids. They see a portal, it opens up, it says future. Each kid goes in and meets their future self, right? So the girl sees her future self, which is a very slim figure, beautiful, and it has in parentheses 10K steps under. There's another boy with blonde hair that meets himself in the future as well. It says 15K steps. He looks tall, he looks handsome. The last boy with the hat goes in the portal, sees himself, but when he sees himself, he can't see his face. The guy is jacked, he's a mysterious looking figure, and the kid, when he walks through and talks to his future self, he says, "Who are you?" Now that video right there blew up for my terms. I got like 1,800 views on TikTok, 400 on Instagram Reels. On YouTube it has probably like another 1,000. No, on YouTube it has 3,500 actually. So it's my best view to engagement ratio video. The thing about that video is that was the 6 hours I was talking about. Because there was 2 videos that I had that it took a lot of time. That was the other one. And it's not that making the video was hard. It's that you have to configure ChatGPT to not do improper like edits. So if you constantly tell ChatGPT and work with ChatGPT all day, it tends to hold memory from your recent conversation. Let's say if you started working at 8 a.m., right? And then it's 6 p.m. and you want to create a video at 6 p.m. So that's like hours later, right? And then you start crafting these really genius prompts and you start talking to ChatGPT. The thing about ChatGPT is when you ask it these very specific prompts, it'll give you what you're asking for. But for some reason, it'll bring random inputs that you gave ChatGPT earlier on in the day and make it into those pictures or storyline or whatever request that you have. So that's something you have to figure out and troubleshoot, right? And what I like to do to tell ChatGPT to kind of upgrade and stop making that same mistake is like I would take a screenshot of the work that it provided me, I would send it right back, and then I'll tell ChatGPT, hey, can you figure out what's wrong in this video you sent me? So then it'll go back, it'll read the prompt that I told it to do, it'll point out everything that it did wrong, and then I would make another prompt and I would say, okay, remake this and please avoid the mistakes that you've made previously. So it'll generate another piece of work, but it'll continuously make the same mistake. And then I'll screenshot it and I'll tell it to look at it and understand what it did wrong. It'll tell me exactly what it did wrong again and continue to make the same mistakes. So the workaround, because I'm all about solutions, the workaround here is that you open up a new chat with ChatGPT, you start on a fresh page, and you just import the most recent conversation you had with ChatGPT. So if you're working on that project, you open up a new chat with ChatGPT, and you just copy and paste a prompt that you gave it where it started messing up, and you paste it in a new chat. The new chat has a fresh memory, so it doesn't recall all the prompts that you were giving it early in the morning at 8 a.m. So then now ChatGPT starts to work even cleaner and sometimes even better. The downside to that is that when you talk to AI, it trains. You constantly are training ChatGPT with every single prompt that you do. So when you're starting a brand new like memory, when you're starting a brand new chat, you kind of erase all the progress that you've done. Unless you have the time to sit and copy and paste all the prompts that you were working on before. Ooh. Yeah, if you have the time to do all of that, then go ahead. Me, I don't. I honestly have no idea how close we are to Disney Springs, but we shouldn't be far because we are already at the hotel that we were yesterday trying to find that trail. So I think we're about 3 miles away from where I am right now. I think we're about 3 miles away. It's a little bit hot today, but it feels good. You know what I'm saying? I had 3,000 calories today. All right. I'm way above what I should be having. But here's the thing. Those 3,000 calories and the amount of work I put in from last night's steps, which is already minus 1,000. I walked 25,000 steps yesterday. All right. After filming the video with you guys, so that put me about 45K steps back to back. All right. Once I finished that, I uploaded it, and then once the upload was done, I went out on my it was like a silent victory, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did that for me more so anything else. And then to pair that up with the gym right after, come on, man, that's unbeatable. That is unbeatable. And the beauty of going to the gym is I go in there and sometimes ideas just fall out of nowhere, man. You just start looking at different machines and, you know, ideas start flowing when the blood in your system is flowing, you know, so you just start being a little bit more creative. So as of late, I've been practicing my creativity, and what we're doing here, walking and talking, certainly helps me organize my thoughts, and it helps me be a lot more creative. Because for 2 hours of walking and talking, you certainly got to be a professional yapper, and you got to have ideas going through your head. Here's the thing though, silence is perfectly all right. You don't need to be doing what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I even thought about it today. I was like, can I just walk and have the camera on and not say a word? But it's like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? I do that already enough, you know. To record myself in dead silence and walk, I mean, that would make for a peaceful, like B-roll. It would basically be a B-roll, right? Silent film? Nah, I'm not too big into that. But it is a B-roll, nonetheless. So here's the hotels over there. We went there yesterday to try and find that trail. It's completely fine that we didn't find it. We are continuing. So yeah, I do want to like take off some of this bloat. Here's the thing, man. When you eat at your calorie maintenance, it may look like you look probably fatter. Maybe you look heavier. Maybe you look bloated like I do. When you eat at maintenance, right, it does not mean you are losing fat or gaining fat. It means your body has found the equal, right? When you eat at a maintenance, you don't lose fat, you don't gain fat. You can go to sleep, wake up, and be at the very same starting point, if not less calories, because when you wake up after sleeping, you're technically fasted, right? So don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry if you have a day where you go, you eat good, you celebrate with friends and family. There's absolutely no problems with having days of big calorie intake, as long as your discipline is there to keep you in check. Like, as long as you acknowledge it, you know what I'm saying? You're smart enough to go and make the right decisions to get back on track, without a doubt. What you can't let it do is let you spiral into more continuous eating, because your emotions play such a huge factor in your success and this type of protocol or this type of journey, whatever you want to call this. The way I think of this walking is just builds great discipline. You live longer too. That's the thing. All this walking is increasing your chance of living longer. Now, that's probably one of the best reasons to go walking. If weight loss is not your goal, and to have a higher chance of living a longer life, walking is like your go-to. You know what I'm saying? You're pumping blood constantly. You know what I'm saying? I think your heart pumps about 20,000 gallons of blood throughout your body every single day. You know what I mean? I used to drink with my friends socially. Then I started to look at drinking, and I started to think, man, look at those berries. There's a whole bunch of berries over there. I don't really know how to forage, so I can't go and just start grabbing those berries. What do you think, I'm crazy? There have been non-stop Google cars going around. Every single day I see a Google car, right? And Google cars are the ones with like the 360 camera all over the vehicle. And they basically take the pictures to update the GPS and all that good stuff every single day. That's like constant. I don't know how much they pay for that. Maybe it might be good. These guys are always on the road. So yeah, if you can enjoy your days where you go out, you enjoy your cheat meals. Like, look, you're probably gonna go on vacation sometime soon, or sometime in your life, right? And you're gonna be exposed to all-you-can-eat buffets. Here's the thing about that: if I'm on a cruise, you can choose to be disciplined, which I think, you can be disciplined to a certain point. But like, look, if you're paying all that money to enjoy yourself, I say go ahead, kick off the socks and the heavy-duty boots, and go enjoy yourself. I don't think you should go and like haunt yourself being put in front of all this food, you know what I'm saying, and not being able to enjoy it. So, you could be disciplined though. You can be disciplined. Imagine, you need all you can eat. You could be selective with the food that you eat on the cruise ship. I know I'm guilty of eating on Carnival Cruise Ship. They have these 24-hour pizza delivery, not pizza delivery, but it's like they make pizza 24 hours on the cruise ship. You can get pizza at 3 a.m. and there's absolutely no problem with it. Now here's the thing. You pair that up with a ice cream machine that is also 24 hours. Now you got one hell of a nighttime snack. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I was one of those guys. I was waking up at the brink of night, and I would get up, leave my room. Everybody is sleeping, so I try and leave as quietly as possible. I would use the phone to light the way so I don't trip over anything inside the room. Because if we had an interior room, it's pitch black in there. You know what I'm saying? It's pitch black in the room. And I would flash the light everywhere, make sure I step over everything, make sure I don't step on no bags or anything, make sure I don't hit the wall. Because the last thing I want to do is let everybody know I'm being a little fat ass, and I'm gonna go get some snacks. All right, and this snacks is pizza and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those guys, and I did it religiously. I did it, and I think it was probably the best part of the cruise, right? Because there's something about going, right, and doing something you're not supposed to do. But here's the thing: making it feel like something you're not supposed to do, being that restrictive. No, you're on vacation. You can do whatever you want. Those are the best times of my night. Sneaking out at the middle of the night, nobody know where I'm at. But if they just did a little bit of searching, they'll find me upstairs on the Lido deck, enjoying myself 2, 3, maybe even a whole pie, because I was a little goblin back then. I would eat. All right, and because my output was pretty extensive, I would be on the basketball court on the top deck of the ship shooting hoops all day, meeting friends. Later on towards like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I would meet those same basketball players and good friends that I made at the volleyball courts and the soccer courts and the table tennis, and I'd be hanging out with them. So I kind of had my routine, right? I think I was able to get away with eating all those calories because I was able to, put in the output. You know what I'm saying? The input is the calories in. The output is the energy expent. You know what I mean? You'll end up running across a couple people that it almost seems like they can eat whatever they want and not gain a single pound. But the truth about these people is that they just do a lot more than you do, right? The people that you see that eat a ton, right? And sometimes you probably might have friends that point out like, yo, this guy, I see him eat like a hog and he doesn't gain a single pound. Wow, do you know that lifestyle of the guy? Do you know that he's a warehouse worker? Do you know that he plays soccer every single day? Do you know that he doesn't have a car and he walks everywhere? These little things, well, they're not even little. They're pretty damn significant. These things impact the output. You know what I'm saying? The calories burned, right? So when you start looking about how your lifestyle is, right? And if you're a person that just walks and does a lot, that just is always on the go, 9 times out of 10, you are just going to be burning more calories than the average person. And that is just by default. That is your default settings. Now, some people might think, oh man, that person's so lucky. But is that person really lucky? You don't know anybody's situations until you go and you ask them. You don't really know how people are until you go and you move in with them. You don't know what people's habits really look like. Some people might have really good habits that they never even talk about. And they go and they eat whatever they want. And people will still question them. How are you able to eat all this food? Well, some people like to be humble. And they'll be like, I don't know, maybe I have a high metabolic burn rate. I don't know if they'll word it like that, but chances are those people that can just eat anything and not gain a single pound, chances are they are a machine. I honestly have not met a person that can eat as much as they want that doesn't live that type of lifestyle. I have not met the person. Maybe one of you guys might be one of those people. So you tell me, you leave it in the comments. Are you able to eat whatever you want, be sedentary, chill, just sit on the couch, and actually not gain weight? Are you one of those rare people? Because if you are, you're so damn lucky. But if you're like me, and you're not blessed with the genetics, and what you gotta do is just increase your output. So it just means go live more, right? Go live more. Go, touch a tree. You know what I'm saying? Do something, anything. Just get out. Because life is worth being lived. Living in the moment. This walking right here, to most people, might just be boring. To me, personally, man, I love this. This is fun. This is therapeutic. Remember, I think everybody needs a little bit of therapy, right? So this is essentially me attending my class for the day. All right? I did 29 weeks of therapy with people. I thought it was one of the most life-changing moments in my life, more than anything that I ever have gone through. Because it just taught me, everybody else has a perspective. The way you view things is not going to be viewed the same way everybody else. Everybody will have their own set of unique opinions based on their experience. Everybody needs therapy. We'll talk your shit out. We've already talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to go on a rant about this again. But I hope you guys tuned in to yesterday's episode because that was a nice one. That was really, really nice. This episode today, I'm honestly feeling more of a chill vibe. I'm in no rush. I'm not going at the speed that we were flying on yesterday. Yesterday we were booking it. I'm telling you, I was booking it like my pants were on fire. I still think about, man, it would be so crazy to be in Brazil and walk around and experience and absorb life. I think it would be so incredible. Now, people say that it would be dangerous because you're walking around with your iPhone device and all that. And look, to be honest with you, that may be true. But I am pretty quick on my feet. That's all I gotta say. I don't want to go too much about that, but I'm really quick. I know if need be, if said myself got in a situation where I had to hit the digital dash, I'm dashing. I'm dashing. You're gonna see a trail of dust behind me. You're not gonna see me physically, but you are gonna see the dust.